Hey, this is Lori, and this little video is going to show you how to do the Eleanor Burns method for flying geese. For month 8, we're making finished size 2x4 flying geese. So it's going to use the large Eleanor Burns ruler, and we're going to be using this end to do the trimming. One of the hints and tips I would like to give you is if you have these rulers, you tend to keep them in your ruler box and you get them out and there's nothing to tell you what size to cut the 2 squares to do the method. So what I do is I take a Sharpie and I write on here what size the 2 squares that I need so I don't have to go digging and looking for it. And I have arrows pointing to where that size square goes so I know what color goes where. Just a hint, it'll save you from, time looking those things up. All right, but first we have to start. We cut a 5.5-inch square, which is the small one, and we cut a 7-inch square, which is the large one. The first thing you have to do is center them. And so I always draw a line on both so that I can kind of get my center lined up and then my crosses lined up, and I know it's pretty much perfectly centered. There is some fudge room, but I like to center them. Then what you're going to do is you are going to, just like a half square triangle, sew from this point to this point, 1/4 inch on each side of the line. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we are actually going to cut it on that line. And I need my big ruler. And what's cool about this method is that these 2 squares are going to make 4 flying geese. So it helps a lot when you are, if you need 4 of them, it's very quick to do. Literally 4 seams and you're done. All right, so I've cut it in half, as you can see, and I have a little triangle and a large triangle. I'm going to use the mini iron and I'm going to press this. You want the seam to go towards the bigger triangle. And the best way to do that, and I'm going to give her time to move down, is to place the big ruler on top and open it up. Big piece on top, not ruler. And just use your little mini iron to set the seam. See how easy that was? We've been talking about this in Thirsty Thursday a lot. But this thing for piecing, for pressing your seams, it's hot, it's direct, you're not running all over the edges of your fabric, and it's going to give you amazingly more accurate pieces. So we highly recommend it. It's one of our featured items this month, 15% off. I literally pretty much do all my ironing with this now. Okay. So I did one, I do have to do the other real quick. Okay, so now we're going to put them back together, right sides together, just like this. All right, and notice that we have a little triangle on a big triangle and vice versa. The seams do not match. As quilters, we just feel like we need to match those seams, but they will not match. There's going to be a decent gap between them. And you are going to draw a line. I've got this one done. From this point to this point, just to remember you're going to go across the seam. Okay? And then you're going to sew 1/4 inch on each side of that seam. And then I'm going to cut that one in half. So we've sewn 4 seams. That's all we have to sew. We're going to cut this in half. And now we have this kind of funny looking piece that looks like this. The first thing we're going to do is, and I hope I forgot to bring scissors, is you want to clip your seam you want to take a notch between the 2 seams, which is going to allow your seams to press in opposite directions. Okay? So I'm going to open this up, and now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to again press towards the larger triangle. Okay? I don't have quite the clip I need, but I'm only going to I'm going to just show you how to trim one anyway. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and this is where the magic comes in. It's kind of like, okay, how do I see a flying goose in there? There's actually two of them, and the white is the base and the blue is the sky. So this is where the ruler comes in. And I highly recommend, if you have one of these, to put something that's non-stick on the back of it. It'll help a lot. But Michelle, you want to come down? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ruler and I'm literally going to place the red lines of the flying geese right on the lines of the flying geese, okay? And I'm going to come across here and I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut this way, and I'm going to cut this way, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to line everything up, and I'm going to go like this, and there's my first one. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. Zoom.
I can see that red line.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So I've got this here, this here. Notice that it's bigger all the way around. So I'm going to cut. This is the tricky side. Cut that. Okay. Now, it is important that you flip it over and you line it back up. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's going to be some extra at the bottom. And what I'm looking for is that I want this green line to basically be going out to the edge. And when I have it all lined up, I'm going to do that. Just a smidge off the bottom, and now I have my two flying geese. Okay. Now you have another whole set of those to do, so you'll end up with 4 of them out of the 2 halves. And you know me, I always like to be able to trim down rather than trying to expand. So I made them big. They make a little bigger, which is why you're cutting a 7 and a 5.5. But then I get to trim them and make them perfect. And who doesn't like perfect? Okay. So that's Eleanor Burns. There's another video that'll be posted that's going to show you the no waste method. Okay. Thank you.